Did you send out a report, Landis?
We can't hear Jack.
Jack,
I can hear Jack. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Bailey. Got Al on. You're muted, Landis.
you can't hear me?
We can, but through the Walpole media.
Right, because we're getting feedback. We're getting feedback.
What meeting are you looking for?
He's looking for this meeting. Everyone decided to zoom in. Lou, have a seat. Thank you. So,
Emilio, are you on? There's Dean. Emilio. We heard from Betsy.
No, I'm not here. Should we ask this guy to come?
She's there.
we're all live now.
Hi,
We're
Jack.
live.
Hi, Emilio. Dean, let's see.
We're live. Yep, right now.
Thought we were doing it in person. So do I have to leave?
We're live.
Then Mr. Truax?
And if you could just sit down and wait like it's a public hearing. So I'm getting a lot of feedback, but why don't we do the first hearing, which is a continuance?
We can't really hear you, Landis.
We can't hear Jack very well.
Jack, we can hear Landis on Zoom.
You can hear Landis how?
I can hear her and you really well.
Yep, so can I.
Yep.
When
Anybody else
Landis
having
speaks, I
trouble
hear
hearing
feedback.
Landis?
I hear feedback also.
If you
Hear you, but you're not very loud.
your
A lot of echo from Landis, but
and when you
Landis,
Landis, try again. It's a different view now for Walpole media.
she turned her thing back up.
Oh,
and
no,
we couldn't
yeah,
hear
you're
Jack.
muted.
Oh.
Are you muted on?
Oh, there it is.
Betsy.
it's very clear from Betsy.
Right. All right.
So,
that's it. Sit in the big chair, huh?
okay,
Wow.
can you hear me okay right now?
Yes.
Yeah, it's way better.
Okay, great. So, Jack, if I could just explain to the people that just walked in, because it was going to be a live meeting, an in-person meeting, which it was intended to do, but several members, because of the weather, other reasons, decided to zoom in.
So do we have to go Zoom?
No,
We can stay.
yes, please do.
I'll see you later.
Okay, so are you ready, Jack?
Okay.
You wanted to do a roll call first?
Okay, this is the Opal Conservation Commission meeting, March 9th, 2022, and we'll do a roll call for who's here. Just say aye. Your name's called. Dean?
Hi.
Bailey?
Aye.
Doug is not with us, is that correct?
He said he may zoom in because he was out.
He's
About
out, okay. Betsy?
Yeah, aye.
Okay, Al?
Aye.
Jack, aye.
Emilio,
Okay.
aye.
And Emilio, did I miss you? I'm sorry. Must have gone out of my screen here. Just to let everybody know, we have a new secretary, Stephanie Ackley. She is with Landis in the town hall, is that correct?
Yes, Stephanie Ackley is here tonight.
Okay, good. Hi,
Hello.
forward to meeting you. Everybody say hello.
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 Okay, Landis, you're gonna read the the notice for our 7 o'clock hearing?
Yep.
Are we gonna be able to switch views too to see the representatives?
Say that again?
There we go. Thank you.
Town of Walpole abbreviated notice of resource area delineation, Conservation Commission, public hearing in accordance with Mass General Law, Chapter 131, Section 40, the Wetlands Protection Act, and the Walpole Wetlands Protection Bylaw. Notice is hereby given of the intent of the County of Norfolk Engineering Department to confirm the wetlands resource boundaries on Hilltop Farm, North Street in Walpole. Plans are on file with the Conservation Commission office. The public hearing on the above matter will be held on Zoom February 9th and was February 9th beginning at 7 p.m. All interested parties are requested to be present. Contact Conservation Commission for Zoom access information.
Okay.
It was
we
continued
have-
to-
We have a letter from them?
Right, it was continued from February 9th to this evening. And because of the snowpack that occurred, we weren't able to get a peer reviewer out to get information for tonight's meeting. So the applicant has requested a continuance to the next available meeting, which would be March 23rd.
Okay, what have we got on the agenda for March 23rd? Do we have anything on?
Nope, we don't have anything on the agenda.
All right, we make it for 7 o'clock.
Okay,
Someone want to make that a motion?
So moved.
We have a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor? Dean,
Aye.
Bailey,
Aye.
Emilio,
Aye.
Betsy, Al,
Aye.
Jack, aye. Okay, so it'll be continued to 7 o'clock on March 23rd.
It's too early to start 7:15.
hold on, Jack. I'm sorry, what are you asking?
Next public hearing scheduled for 7:15.
That's right.
Oh,
Yeah, so we're
tonight you're talking about?
Yeah, some miscellaneous stuff like minutes and stuff.
Yeah.
Did Landis, did Mr. Petrosi,
I think
decide to
Mr.
make this-
Petrosi came and left because he preferred to talk to the commission in person.
okay, so just let him know our next meeting is March 23rd in Town Hall.
Yep.
Okay. Just for those who are interested, Landis asked him to give us an update on Burns Avenue, and he said he would, but he wants to talk in person to the commission, so. We have minutes from February 23rd. Someone want to move those minutes?
I'll move them.
Bailey, okay, do we have a second?
Second.
That's from Dean, okay. All in favor? Dean,
Aye.
Bailey,
Aye.
Emilio? Where'd Emilio go? Emilio,
Probably mute.
the minutes,
He froze.
Aye.
There we go. Man.
okay.
Aye.
Betsy,
Aye.
Al,
Aye.
Jack, aye. Okay, what else do we have? Landis, did you send out a report for tonight's meeting?
Did I send out a report for what?
For tonight's meeting?
You might.
Didn't.
I didn't see it.
No, we
Okay.
brought copies
They were all in
though.
your packets.
Oh.
Okay.
Right here.
While we're waiting, Dean, is there anything update on the master plan?
Yeah. Actually met before this meeting, so it's been an evening of meetings. They have put together the census documents from all of the work that we've done thus far, and they're going to submit it to the committee this week, because we have a meeting next week to really go over it. That's about it. So it's my job to review it from a Concom perspective. So that's happening.
Okay, thank you. Okay, is there anything new for Pinnacle Point?
No, so for the Pinnacle Point Trail easement, the town council is actively reviewing the information.
Okay. Okay, do we have any certificates? No. Can we go over, is there anything new on
You know,
the
Jack,
enforcement? Yes, go
I'm
ahead.
gonna run upstairs and email you guys my report.
Maybe send it the assistant.
I don't know how I can get it without getting out of Zoom. I have to get back.
Okay.
Yeah, share it.
Haley, can you help Jack out?
I don't have it on my laptop.
And try.
Good what?
I can try to help Jack out between navigating between
Send her.
his mail and the Zoom.
Well, they just have a few minutes. It'd take me a second. Just
Okay.
talk for the next few minutes.
Are you doing that now?
No, Jack, I'm gonna teach you. You gotta minimize Zoom. Do you know how to minimize?
Minimize Zoom?
Yep, the page.
Let's see.
On the top right-hand corner, there's a line,
Yeah.
a couple of boxes and an X.
Yeah,
Hit the line.
yeah, I did.
That should minimize Zoom.
Except I got a full screen of Zoom, so now I gotta go back to this. All right, so we're waiting for Landis to send out the email then.
Jesse, how come you're here?
Is there anyone there?
I'm here, yeah.
No, at
I'm
the
just-
place. Is there any hearing folks there?
Yeah,
We're all
I'm
supposed to be
just-
here.
Rob's here.
Okay, there we go.
Just seeing you, okay.
Rob's here. Right.
We didn't know. You didn't know.
I knew. They're all supposed to be here.
So I would have preferred to put it up on Zoom. Just easier. I was saying, and like if you did, if we could plug in if I could bring my laptop and plug in and get the plans on the TV when we're doing it in person, it would be a lot easier.
Isn't that what's sort of supposed to happen if
It
we're?
does in other communities. I do it in Medway. We sit down, they have a plug right on the table and plug your laptop
But
in.
I mean, isn't that in a hybrid meeting, which this supposedly is, aren't you supposed to be able to do that?
I would if I was at home on my computer. I don't have my computer. But even if it was in person, some of the town halls, what they have is this table here would have a plug that I could plug into the TVs. And everything would, all my computer screen would show up there, so I could show the plans up there, and then they're right to the public too when they're watching it, on the YouTube.
Wonder if Landis has it on her computer.
We can do that.
Get plugins?
Yeah,
That would be great. I think it's a really good idea.
it is great. We do it occasionally.
Do you? You don't have a wire out here though, right?
Well, we have one over there right now showing people on Zoom, but we could change it.
You could, oh, I see.
Presentation.
We don't need to have both screens with humans on them.
This screen here
It'd
typically
be easier
shows
for you too,
plans.
because then the plans would be up on TV. You wouldn't have to zoom in on them.
That's correct.
You don't have your laptop.
I wasn't prepared for it.
Maybe Landis has it on, does,
Yeah, they're gonna take a fine, that's what we do.
Yeah, I wasn't prepared
That's imperfect, but
that way.
the best you can do, I guess.
Matter of fact, I had a really difficult time trying to get plans here because my printer's down. My big printer broke, so the guy was supposed to come today, he postponed it till tomorrow. So I couldn't print anything. And if I was on Zoom, I would just, I can just pull it up on my computer. It's easy. And I'm like scrambling in the office trying to get out of there. I was in a seminar all day. So that, it was the end of the day.
Mm.
I'm thinking, and Joyce was in the office and she had meetings tonight. I go, your meeting Zoom? She was like, oh God, I wish this was Zoom. It'd be so much easier. To call 'em. Sorry, we'll get through it.
do you think Landis has his plans on this computer?
I
So
wouldn't
she
know.
could do a share screen? Because I am wondering how they're gonna see it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Landis,
Hybrid is, you guys come and they sit.
So it's just telling him to get a thing here so we can bring our laptops and we can plug in.
Landis, do you have his plans on your computer? I hate to say, because he was just saying, how are these guys gonna see the plans?
He can put the camera on it.
Oh, he can put the, oh,
I'm saying in the future, even when it's in person, if we could come, I could bring a laptop to the thing and plug in. So they would show up, and it's better for the public, because they can't see this when it's facing you. But if it's up
Okay,
here,
we're
they
still
can see it.
we're still at a live meeting, so.
I thought we had the right corner.
Did you send that,
Camera.
Landis?
Landis,
Yes.
we're missing two people, or three people.
You went off to get the, you probably signed off to get the email.
Landis,
Yes, Jack,
did you send that?
I did.
It's not showing, oh, here it is, okay. Let me get this.
You look okay, you don't look like you're not in the break room.
Yeah.
You don't actually have to leave Zoom to pick up email, though. I don't know where those guys went.
Surgery on the 30th. Guy said it's one of the biggest.
Are you ready for the next meeting, Jack?
I'm printing off your report,
Oh, okay.
so. Okay, now we gotta get back to Zoom.
You're on Zoom, we can see you.
Missing some members.
Yeah, I know.
Where'd they come?
Right, they were there. The only one that's not there is Al.
Al's here.
Not there.
Okay.
I still haven't received the email, but that's okay.
Oh,
As long as Jack's got it.
what have I got here?
Yeah, I haven't gotten it either, but
It's about a report on Zoom. What the hell?
Did you get an email? There's an email, not the attachment.
Okay. Where the hell?
I sent it to you and me too, so.
Okay. Okay, back. Can you hear me?
So did you get an email 3/9/2022 conservation meeting?
You asking me?
I'm asking anyone of the commissioners.
I didn't get it.
I got your report. Is that what you're asking?
Yes, I am.
Yes, I got the report.
Okay.
I just got it, yep.
Okay, good.
Okay,
Yeah, I got it.
are we ready? Do we need to look at this first, or do we open the hearing?
Well, it's 7:20, so we're good to go when you are, Chair.
Okay, well, you want to read the notice?
Okay. Town of Walpole Land Disturbance Permit Conservation Commission public hearing in accordance with the Walpole Stormwater Erosion Control Bylaw and regulations. Notice is hereby given of the intent of Walsh Brothers Construction Company, Inc. to file a land disturbance permit application for activity associated with the construction of 24 single-family dwellings with driveways, utilities, and associated grades within Lincoln Estates subdivision off of Lincoln Road in Walpole. Plans are on file at the Conservation Commission. The public hearing on the above matter will be held at Walpole Town Hall, 135 School Street on January 26th, and it's been continued to tonight, March 9th. All interested persons are requested to be present. John Wiley, Chairman, Walpole Conservation Commission.
Okay, representing the applicant?
Rob Truax, GLM Engineering Consultants, and John Walsh, the applicant.
Okay, Landis, is there anything else that needs to be read into the record?
No.
Okay, you want to proceed, Rob?
Sure. So when we left the last meeting, we felt the only outstanding item was the bond amount that you were gonna, Landis was gonna speak to Carl, the town engineer. Landis sent an email on Monday with an amount. I got a second email today with a second amount on how, and it's basically just questioning how we calculated the disturbed area for the lots versus, you know, what was being done for the roads. So when we gave an amount, I had 13.5 acres of disturbance for the lot areas, and I had the remaining being part of the road area. The calculation, the way I did it, and I was gonna give you handouts, but you're not. So I'm gonna give them to Landis and Betsy. So just to give you a quick overview, Landis, this is what I did. The yellow was what I took out for the road area. And it came out to about, the total disturbance on the site for all the lots, the roadway, et cetera, is about 23.5 acres. The roadway with the staging area in the front, the detention basins and whatnot was about 9.5 acres. And then the remainder was about 14 plus or minus.
So 9.5 acres was
The
this
yellow.
front part?
The yellow.
The roadway and the,
Right, but if you look in the front, I'm gonna hold this up, I don't know if they can see it. But, the area up front, this was the area that's for staging, for the road construction. There's also a drainage swale on the back of this lot that's part of the drainage system. So that has to be constructed for the road. I mean, if you wanted to say like, you know, once these are done and the staging's done, they're gonna be constructed as house lots. I mean, we could add, I guess we could add another 2 acres to that, just to pick up those 2 lots in some sense. So go from 14 to 16 acres for land disturbance for the lots.
so can you explain, so what I did is I looked at each of the lots and the square footage that you had indicated for the lots, and I added them all together,
Right, that's not,
except for 13 and 14.
okay, so the thing is that the lots aren't 100% disturbed. You know, so if you have a 40,000 square foot lot, you take out, you know, the buffering on the back, wherever there's no disturbance, it's not 40,000 square feet of disturbance on each lot. It averages about 25 to 30,000. I mean, you know, look in the middle and you got a couple lots that are fully disturbed, and
Well,
you got some of the lots are partially disturbed by the road construction because you have drainage basins on there, grading, like lot 16 coming in off Deerfield, half of that's getting disturbed by the drainage installation. Part of it's not getting disturbed at all. Then you get to the one at the end of the cul-de-sac, which I think is number 13. Primarily, that whole lot gets disturbed to build the basin to get in there.
Right, I didn't include 13 or 14 at all.
Okay. I mean, it's just, that's the estimate I came up with. So if I took out the yellow, which was 9.5, and the remainder was 14. I mean, would it be easier just to put a dollar amount on the lot and say $5,000 per lot? You go times 24, it'd be $120,000 for the bond.
Which is about the same as, I think wasn't it 121 with the 13.5, right?
Yeah, something like that. I mean, I guess it's really just an amount. Or you do 16 times 9, what's that, Landis?
144.
So if we added 2 acres for lots 1 and 2, that would bring the total, just for the lot construction, up to about 16 acres. I also didn't go out to the edge of the road, because when we build the road, you're gonna go out and you're gonna do the tree planting area, which is about 10 feet beyond the right of way. So that's gotta be graded all for the road. So that's in that yellow as well. Give you an idea. So you're losing a little bit of the front of the lot for the road construction.
Okay.
That's all.
And that planning board, I always, didn't think the commission should do double duty, so if the planning board generally bonds for the road construction, that would be separate.
Yeah, that's gonna get bonded separately.
So if we agree to the 16,
Do the 16 times 9, the 144.
How close does that come to your calculation?
well, to me it makes sense, so mine was for 21.89 acres times 9,000 is 197,000. His is 16 acres times 9,000, which is 144. What are, didn't want to do double duty, so if it's a subdivision, which we're all assuming eventually it's going to be, the planning board generally bonds for the road construction.
Correct.
So
For the
we
roadway.
shouldn't have to bond for the road construction
Right, so
either, so.
And that will include, 10 feet beyond the planted trees and all that, so that'll all get bonded by the planning board. That's correct.
And so you were taking out the basins, the basins.
All of them, yeah,
all of
because that's gonna get bonded by the planning board as well. You comfortable with that?
I'm fine with that.
Okay.
So
What's the number again?
144,000. So it'd be for 16 acres times 9,000.
Okay. You also mentioned that this through a third party. Do you want to explain how that would work?
The tri-party agreement.
Yeah,
So my understanding is between the applicant, the bank, and the town.
Correct.
And
The money's secured by the bank.
the money's secured by the bank.
okay.
That's a tripod.
And I think town council said they wanted to review whatever
Document.
the written
Yes,
agreement is.
So my understanding is the applicant submits the document, and we submit it to town council and agree on it.
Okay,
The planning board actually has a tripartite agreement, and that's what we would fill out, and the bank would
Particular
sign it,
form.
notarize it, I sign it, notarize
But
it.
you would provide it to us before the
Right.
signatures.
We might have to
Yep.
change it from planning board to conservation commission.
Yeah, you'd have to.
We don't want to give the planning board twice as much.
That was John Walsh speaking. Didn't introduce himself.
Sorry, John Walsh.
okay. Anything else? Rob?
No, that's it for now, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Landis, anything else?
So we had also just, I think, asked to have the buffer zone to the isolated wetlands along the east side, along the gravel roadway, put on the plan, and I was provided a digital copy today of that.
You got a copy of that today?
A digital copy.
Oh, okay. I didn't send it.
Who sent it?
I don't know. I was out of the office all day. I was at a seminar. I have ghosts.
John, you sent it.
Oh. Joyce
No,
sent?
that was the that was the determination, that was the,
Oh,
That was the, I think he sent you the
Okay.
plan we did for the ANRAD.
that
well, that was
was
the ANRAD.
I'll give you a revised plan.
So right, so we need a revised plan that has the buffer zone to the,
So that's gonna encroach on a couple of the lots in that detention basin, so we'll have to file under the bylaw, if I'm correct.
yes.
Okay,
As well as in my conditions, if you guys decide to close it and issue the decision, I've referenced the lots that are in the riverfront area, the lots that are in the isolated wetlands area, and the lots that are the lot 24.
okay. We'll go through the commission then, and then we'll open up to the audience if anyone has any questions. Dean,
No comments.
Bailey,
No comments.
Medio,
All set?
Betsy,
No, I think Landis has covered it.
Al?
I'm all set.
Okay, I just have a question with regard to this bond. This winds up going through the planning board and you wind up, would there be an additional bond than required by the planning board for whatever isn't covered here? Or is there a duplication?
The planning board would require a bond for all the road work, drainage basins, grading that's associated with that. So that's
Okay.
that's why I kind of pull that out, so there'll be a separate bond for everything that you're not covering. You're
Okay,
only
so
covering
that
the
there'll
lot
be,
areas.
so there'll be two, planning board will have their bond and conservation has our bond.
Correct,
Is that correct?
that's correct.
Okay. All right,
We just have one more comment, Mr. Chairman, if we
Go
could,
ahead.
on the conditions identifying the lots. We don't have a problem with spelling out that if any lots or anything else on the site is doing work within 100 feet of a resource area, that we would have to file. But to actually state that, like, lots 13, 14, and 16 will require a separate filing under the Wetlands Protection Act and Wetland bylaws, that's not necessarily required if we're not doing work in those buffers. So I don't think that's appropriate to state we have to file something if we're not working in the riverfront or in the 100-foot buffer on those lots. And right now, the way the plan's proposed, there is no work proposed within those resource area buffer zones.
I think when you get to those lots, if you show there's no work being done, then you can bring that up at that time. But the potential
But
is that could be work on those lots, which would be in the buffer zone.
well, if you
It
said
needs to
that,
be
that would be
addressed.
fine, but that's not what the statement says. It's saying we must file. We're not given the opportunity to show a plan that shows we're not working in those areas. It's saying that we have to file a separate Wetlands Protection Act. So I would agree with you if you said that, you said just what you said, if there's no work in those resource areas, we don't have to file. Can we word it differently?
So that would be a determination. So you file a
We
determination.
wouldn't have to file determination if we're not in the buffers at all, correct? If I'm not working within the 100-foot buffer, and I'm not working within the 200-foot riparian, I wouldn't file anything on that lot.
You would file a determination showing you that you're not working in those areas
Why would I?
because there's resource areas on the lot.
But if you're not working in them, you don't have to file an RDA. Why do I have to file an RDA if I'm not working in the buffers? I don't
I
understand
just said,
that.
but my opinion was because there's resource areas on the site.
But what requires an RDA? What requires a filing with the Conservation Commission under the bylaw and under the act? What requires that to be a filing?
Well, a determination to determine if there's a filing a permit required.
Correct. So I would only file that if I was working in an area that I thought was subject to the act. If I have a house lot and I have wetlands 150 feet from my house and I'm not working in that 100-foot buffer, I don't have to file with the Conservation Commission an RDA nor a notice of intent. I don't have to file anything because I'm not in the buffers.
I would say, from past practice of the commission, that if there were potential for a filing on a lot in a subdivision, that it was listed as a filing, and I don't remember exactly the wording, whether it was may be required or that, as we do now, as we stay here, that it shall be required. So we could review
and I
that,
think-
but I think the
and-
point is,
And
At
you're
this
probably
point,
correct, Mr.
there-
Chairman, but this is not an order of conditions that you're writing. This is a land disturbance permit. So you're taking the land
Which still-
disturbance bylaw and requiring us to file notice of intents on lots that's not the same permits. You're mixing bylaws now. We're under a land disturbance permit. We're not under the Wetlands Protection Act. So
which
we're
if
dealing with
there
a land
are,
disturbance permit.
Can you, I mean, can you not overtalk the chairman, Rob? I think he's
Sorry.
trying to say something and you're talking over him.
Sorry.
And I don't think that would happen if he was sitting here. So it doesn't, if that is the issue, and they've done it before and is common if there's resource areas on a lot or the buffer zone on a lot, that we put in that you should at least file at least a determination. But given that there's already been a ANRAD and an ORAD, which hopefully will be valid by the time you come forward, there is an established wetland sign. So if we change the wording that lots 3, 4, 5, 13, 14, 16, and 24 shall file under the, if in the jurisdiction, something like that, we could change.
Okay, can I make a comment, though? Because this is such a strange situation where the roads have been turned down by planning board, and you're going to try to see if you can rectify that. And so we're talking about house lots when there's no road that's been approved or no subdivision that's been approved. My impression when I saw that is that we're just making sure that all the ducks are in a row, because a whole lot of ducks are not in a row right now, and it's a very weird subdivision. It's a lack of one, actually. So.
To us.
Oh, okay, well, except first you've got to go and contest whatever planning did. So I guess I'm thinking that's where we're coming from on this, that even though we're doing this tonight about land disturbance, it feels like we're a long way from a subdivision at the moment, and a long way from any roads, and even a long way from any of these lots matching up to any of the roads that may or may not happen. And so I didn't mind having it. Why are you splitting hairs about that?
I think just saying that it's required, if it's not required, then I wouldn't want to have to be.
If resource
think
areas
it's
are
valid.
on the lot, we
That's all.
typically do that. I mean, all over town, people get treated, I mean, maybe we're treating everyone all over town wrong, but whenever, oh, okay, you're nodding your head. But when there's resource areas on a lot, we typically have a determination. And so for this not to happen, for this very weird situation where you don't even have a subdivision approved or roads or anything, it didn't seem totally out of line.
Well, it's just that when you say required to file it, it means we have to file it. And if it's not required, then we don't want to have to file it. I don't have a problem with you just changing the language to say, if there's work within the resource area buffers, we have to do a filing. In this town, when we file for a building permit on all these lots, it has to go through conservation for review before it gets signed off for building. So the agent, if it's Landis or whomever at the time, is gonna review that plan. And if she says, hey, you're in the 100-foot buffer, you have to file, we're gonna file. And if we're in the 100-foot buffer, we're gonna file anyway. We're not even gonna get to that point, because we're required to file. But if we're not, to make us come back and do a whole hearing process when it's not required, what's the purpose? It's not required if we're outside the buffers.
And if I could, if it is a strange situation, we're trying to straighten it out, and to add another layer of complexity so that we would then have to come back and file, which we shouldn't have to do, which can then be appealed very easily, for $50.
Not a determination cannot be appealed.
I don't know that. I'd have to,
Well, actually, that's not true. It could be appealed.
anything can be appealed.
All right.
And this is a contentious subdivision. So what we're trying to do is get through the legal process and just follow the rules.
Jack, hello?
Yeah.
So these are conditions that we will discuss if you want to close the hearing. Do you want to close the hearing first, or?
We have, I think someone in the audience wants to speak.
'Cause we're kind of talking about conditions before closing the hearing, so.
So, right now, I'll open up. Mr. Hamilton, did you want to say something?
Yes, I did. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, identify yourself for the record, please.
Yes, William Hamilton, Precinct 5. My concern is, and I'm a little bit ahead of the curve, so I hope that Mr. Walsh appreciates that I'm trying to bring this up and not have him blindsided later in the project. My concern is my battery is running low, so I'm gonna speak quickly here. I am very concerned that homes that are being built in this proposed eventual subdivision will want to have solar panels on the roof or in the property. And I would like to have some kind of a stipulation in future subdivisions and for conservation maybe approval, that solar panels made in communist China, which doesn't have the quality control that we have here in America, not be allowed within our water resource protection overlay districts. In fact, not be allowed, period, in the subdivisions. And part of the reason for that is, as we've all probably heard in the news, communist China has a ironclad agreement with Russia to support their invasion of Ukraine.
I think as much as we all appreciate this, it really doesn't apply to the land disturbance permit, Jack.
Yes,
There.
but I'm going to be working on trying to get this to apply, so I'm just bringing it up, so later on.
But it doesn't apply to this particular permit.
But we could talk about the future. And the future's coming very quickly. The way things are going, it's not advantageous to us to be financing communist China, who is partners with communist Russia, when the Ukraine provides us with an awful lot of our food supply, like wheat.
Jack, please.
Bill, that is not pertinent to this hearing. As correct as it may be, that issue is not pertinent to this hearing.
Okay, I understand that. I just want to let the commission know that I consider it something that should be part of a hearing in the future.
Okay? All right. Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
Okay.
Oh, well, no, that'll be it. I don't want to upset the petitioners anymore.
Are you at the library, Mr. Hamilton?
I refuse to answer that on the grounds that it may incriminate me.
Okay. Well, you can come over to the FinCom room if you want to, by the way. Letting you know.
Okay. All right, so that's the audience. With regard to the lots identified, I am not in favor of taking them out, whether we change the wording that I guess the question is, how many lots do we have on there, Landis?
We have lots 3, 4, and 5, which appear to have a portion of the buffer zone to the isolated wetlands on them. And we have 13 and 14 and 16, which have a portion of the riverfront area on them. And then we have 24, which is the wetlands that is shown as a state restricted wetlands.
Okay, so there's 7 lots that are noted.
I mean, we could say may require a filing with under the Wetlands Protection Act of the local bylaw.
That would be
I would think if we change the wording, that the applicant would have to show that there is no, show with a plan of that lot development, that it is not working within those buffer zones.
That's fine.
What's the difference between that and a request for determination, or is it just that one is more formal and one is less formal?
Correct.
Okay, so a less formal version of a request for determination is kind of
Well,
what you're getting at?
I would just say that their plan would show that they wouldn't have to show to this board or me, but that their plan should show that they're not working in the resource area.
Yeah,
If
we'd be
their
hap-
plan does show that it is in the resource area, for the buffer, the riverfront area, they require filing
Yeah, we would
an
show you the
application
plan.
with the Conservation Commission.
Yeah, and we would share the plan, just as he said.
And I'm agreeing to this because you have an ORAD, because you have an established wetlands line. Otherwise, it does make sense, and we do it, because people
For the
may
line.
say, oh yeah, there's wetlands over there, I'm 150 feet away, and I go
That's
out
true.
there and it's like, no, you're not.
I would give you that
And
one.
that's why we require at least determinations for many lots that have wetlands nearby that may be affected. So it is a common practice, it's not unusual. But because you do have established wetlands line, except for that area on Lincoln Street, which needs a little more,
Yeah, we'll go look at that with you.
I understand your point.
Okay, thank you.
Are you satisfied with that, Landis?
I would say yes, because we have an established wetlands line, so we actually know where the buffer zones are. So if they can design outside the buffer zone and outside the riverfront area, then they shouldn't be required to file.
Okay. Does anyone have any other questions or comments? Just raise your hand. If not, someone want to make a motion to close the hearing?
So moved.
Do we have a second? Okay, that was a immediate second. All right. And with this is to close the hearing. So Dean,
Aye.
Bailey,
Aye.
Medio,
Aye.
Betsy? Okay, Al?
Aye.
Jack, aye. Okay, with the order, as we will include that, figure $144,000 for the bond, and that it will be subject to review by town council. Is there anything else that we need to include in here?
So in my report, I'm just gonna go through my recommended conditions, which I did send to the applicant. That, one, a copy of the approved subdivision plan shall be received by the Conservation Commission at least 1 week prior to pre-construction meeting. A pre-construction meeting shall take place with the conservation agent, it says gent, 72 hours prior to beginning construction, lot construction only, the development of land for the construction of single-family houses and associated utilities and driveway. 4, development of roadway and post-construction stormwater management system is permitted under a separate land disturbance permit. 5, in situ soil tests for each permanent infiltration basin at the appropriate final grade shall be conducted with the engineering department and submitted for review to the Conservation Commission. 6, post-construction stormwater basins and roadway construction is not permitted under the land disturbance permit, under this land disturbance permit. Street sweeping shall occur at least once a week or sooner as necessary to pick up sediments on the street. Then we'll have lots 3, 4, 5, 13, 14, 16, and 24 may require either a separate filing with the Conservation Commission under the Wetlands Protection Act or the Walpole Wetlands Bylaw. A water truck shall be available on site during excavation to dampen areas as needed to prevent dust from the air, to the air, dust to the air. applicant provide a performance security of 9,000 per acre of disturbed area to cover emergency grading and stabilization. Should developer walk away and not be in financial position to complete the work. Mr. Hamilton, why don't you sit down, please?
I will. Do you have handouts?
No,
We
can you
actually have
sit
tons
down?
of handouts.
We're in the middle right now.
Oh, okay.
Landis, you'll revise that number 10?
Yes, for the amount that the applicant should submit a tri-party agreement, which is approved by town council for $144,000.
Yeah, okay. Anything else?
Those were my recommendations. Probably
Okay,
have a few just of the boilerplate.
right. Okay, anybody else have anything else? Just raise your hand if you want to add anything. Okay, someone want to make that a motion?
So moved.
We got a second?
That was Al Getz?
Al Mitzi? Al?
Aye.
Jack, aye. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you.
Enough. Okay, we have a continue our 7:30 hearing.
It works. It's different.
Thank you. All right, where's the ad? There it is. Okay, are you all ready for the next hearing?
Go ahead.
Okay, Town of Walpole Notice of Intent Conservation Commission Public Hearing. In accordance with the Walpole Wetlands Protection Act and the Walpole Wetlands Protection Bylaw, notice is hereby given of the intent of the trustees of reservations, 75 Walcott Street, to rebuild the Willow Pond spillway and wing walls within Francis William Bird Park in Walpole, Mass. Plans for the notice of intent are on file with the Conservation Commission Office, Room 212. Public hearing on the above matter will be held virtually accessible Zoom on February 23rd, 2022, beginning at 7:15, and it's been continued to March 9th. All parties requested to attend. John Wiley, Chairman, Walpole Conservation Commission.
Okay, representing the applicant,
Josh Hassenfuss, project manager for the trustees of reservations.
okay. I think last meeting we were short the DEP number, file number, so we
Yes,
have that,
Yes, we do.
okay? Was there anything additional to present?
Yeah, so the comments that we got from the town engineer was, that there needed to be more details on the concrete construction. So the engineer did add details for the concrete construction, which I sent in revised plans, so I hope you've all gotten them, but nothing else was changed besides the construction details. And those didn't really change, they just added details, basically for the spillway and the valve box, which is shown here. So these two details are the ones that were added. And just some notes on the concrete spec of 4,000 PSI. So I think it's pretty standard stuff, and subsequently, you know, the plans didn't really change at all, just more detail.
Okay. All right, Landis?
Yes. So I didn't receive any additional comments from the town engineer. And I did look over, and I think that we're pretty good with the plans that we received. We did receive a few comments from DEP, which I think I addressed in my conditions that we can cover.
Okay. Dean, any questions, comments?
Nope. No comment.
Bailey?
No questions.
Emilio?
No questions.
Betsy?
No, no questions.
Al?
Hope to see it get done.
It was okay? I missed what, Al, you're okay?
He hopes to see it
Yep.
get done.
Get done.
Oh, okay. All right. Anyone in the audience have any questions or comments? Please identify yourself for the record. See anybody trying to get in?
No, I don't think there's anyone there.
Okay, hearing none. Someone want to make a motion to close the hearing?
So moved.
Got a
Second.
second?
Second.
It was Emilio. Okay, all in favor? Dean?
Aye.
Bailey?
Aye.
Emilio?
Aye.
Betsy?
Aye.
Al?
Aye.
Jack? Aye. Okay. I could close the hearing, and we have an order of conditions.
Yep, so I just have a couple recommended special conditions in my report. Project shall occur during low flow conditions. Removed material shall be deposited into a truck for removal. Dewatering, if necessary, shall be contained in settling basin or similar. Excavation within land underwater shall be below 100 cubic yards. Alteration of bordering vegetated wetlands requires a 1-to-1 replacement of bordering of pursuant to 10.554B, which is a DEP comment. So a replication plan shall be submitted to the Conservation Commission for approval 2 weeks prior to the beginning of the project. If, I think it was really very small amount of alteration, so just submit a replication plan. Project meeting with the applicant and project manager shall occur 1 week prior to the project. Any changes to the alteration of the wetland resource areas due to the removal and/or construction of the structures shall be brought to the attention of the Conservation Commission within 48 hours.
Okay. Just one comment, Landis, on removal. What is that? Removed material shall be deposited into a truck for removal. Would any of those materials be draining water as they're loaded in the truck? Does that potential exist? What I'm getting at is not to have a truck draining water as it drives off.
Yeah,
Right, I
so
think we talked
I think,
about
Mr.
that.
Chairman, what we put into the narrative, that we would put into a lined roll-off dumpster for that purpose.
Okay,
For any of the wet materials.
Yeah, for it.
okay,
Exactly.
good enough. All right, anybody have any questions? Dean?
No questions.
Bailey?
No questions.
Emilio?
All set.
Betsy?
No questions.
Al?
All set.
Jack? Okay, so someone want to make a motion to close the hearing?
So moved.
Second.
You closed the hearing.
Yeah.
You're
Just close
voting
it,
the
Jack.
order.
Oh, this was, okay, I'm sorry. All right. Did someone make a motion for the order as noted?
So moved.
We have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, second Bailey, thank you. All in favor, Dean?
Aye.
Bailey?
Aye.
Emilio? Emilio?
Aye.
Betsy?
Aye.
Al?
Aye.
Jack? Aye. Okay, so that's, takes care of that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Okay. Now, what didn't we get to? We did the minutes, I believe, didn't we? Yes.
Yep, we did the minutes.
Plan update, Pinnacle update, enforcement orders. There's nothing new on any of the enforcement orders, I don't think, is there?
Not at this time.
Okay.
Right, except I think I was suggesting that maybe we should send a letter to the 1900 Main Street asking them to update the commission on their stormwater management efforts.
Okay. You want to take care of sending them a letter?
Sure.
Okay.
I mean, I think it's just pertinent to let them know that we haven't completely forgotten about them.
Okay. In that, tell them that we would like a response before our next meeting on March 23rd.
Okay.
All right, is there anything else? Appeals? I guess there's nothing at this point on the appeal. We've gotten some more information at town council and they're
Yep,
working on the appeal.
yep, working on the documents.
Board comments, anything involving us on the Washington Street?
So the Washington Street, the clock tower, they will be filing an application before the Conservation Commission because the portion of the site is in the riverfront area.
For the clock tower, what's the Washington Street under planning board?
That's the clock tower.
What are they doing?
Oh, okay. Oh, okay, that clock tower is, okay, good enough.
They're adding to the clock tower that's on the corner of Washington and Union. Yeah. Residential and commercial. There's
Okay.
plans on there.
Under correspondence,
Under correspondence, so we got a letter from Wood Associates, Mass. Inc. on 100 Neponset Street, which is the old bird machine site,
Bird
which they've been doing remediation forever. And there's really nothing new there. It's just a letter reporting that they've achieved temporary solution.
okay.
Nothing new.
Is that, Landis, is that gonna be, is that sent to us or will be sent to us soon?
The letter,
Yeah.
it's in your packet, but I can email it to you.
No, I can get it next time. No, that's fine. Okay, because that's my industry. I'm just curious.
Okay.
So, and then there was a letter from the Norfolk Registry of Deeds, their normal letter showing us how much money we're losing because we don't have the preservation fund. And also, they're trying to maintain and hire for their IT department, and they were looking for a support letter for that.
Are we supposed to send them a letter? Is that what you're saying?
So it's a letter from the Norfolk County, the head of the Norfolk County Registry of Deeds.
I don't know if we need to send a letter. Every time I go onto the Registry of Deeds site, there's like 3 or 4 giant red notices saying they have an IT emergency.
Yes.
And everybody in town has gotten a letter from them, including like 3 at our house, saying it. I'm not so sure that, I think they're just blanketing the
Yeah.
county. I don't think we need to have a personal letter
Okay,
about their IT thing.
all right. We did get a letter from one of the representatives. I forget which one it was now. I have it here someplace, but
Yes, I sent that out
on
to
the letter we
everybody.
sent supporting the modification to 40B requirements that would give the local conservation commissions some jurisdiction where buffer zones are potentially affected under 40B developments. So there was a letter from, was it Feeney that sent it?
He said thank you
Anyhow.
for our letter, right? He said
He's-
thanks for our letter.
Yes, he did.
Yes. So that was just what, somebody did read our letter and they said they passed it on to the House committee that was reviewing that action and that he was supporting it and
Yes, Paul
was going to
Feeney.
request that the other members of the delegation support it.
Yes, it was Paul Feeney.
Okay. Anybody have anything else? I think we've covered the agenda.
So next meeting, March 23rd, is a full in-person meeting. All persons are requested to attend.
Are applicants still asked to upload their materials digitally? Or are we not doing that anymore either?
No, so we'll still request the applicants to provide us with digital copies and we can still upload them to the website. Yeah, I was late on uploading the plans for the trustees.
Oh, I saw the trustees ones. I didn't see any of Rob's.
There wasn't revised plans for Rob.
Oh, okay.
He hadn't revised
one.
them yet. I think it's in his, he's going to submit revised ones, but he hasn't revised them yet.
Gotcha, thanks.
The only
Okay.
revision is to put the buffer zone line on there for the isolated wetlands.
Okay. Anybody have anything else then? All right, so we're gonna make a motion to close the hearing, close the
So
meeting.
moved.
Okay, everybody say aye.
I'll second.
Aye.
Aye.
8:06,
All
I
at
think,
once?
is the correct time.
Aye.
Good enough. See you in 2 weeks.
Thank
Aye.
you.